Hello everyone, thank you for being with me today. First and foremost, I'm going to give you an update on the murder that happened on the south side of Frostproof Sunday evening at about 5 p.m. I have been giving you several updates. To me, this is a particularly disturbing event, and it is because the victim was only 22 years of age. Now, he was there to sell marijuana. He was on an app to sell marijuana. And the person who was communicating with him is the suspect that we didn't talk about yesterday by name, Charles Andrew Jackson III. He went online and said that he wanted to buy $400 worth of marijuana from our victim. He's 16 years of age. So our victim gets the directions. It's actually in his cell phone whenever we arrive at the scene. He gets the directions from Charles, and he goes from Eagle Lake, where he lives, with $400 worth of marijuana. Now, people want to tell you it's a low-level, nonviolent crime. Well, that's baloney. I want you to talk to our victim's mother. She has a 22-year-old son that's now dead over this. Or, quite frankly, talk to Ty Allen or Charles Andrews' family and ask them if marijuana is nonviolent and low level. Both of them face first-degree murder. So in any event, our victim shows up, and Charles Jackson III approaches the car along with Ty Allen, and they carry on a conversation. Now, I want you to understand that Ty is 15 and Charles is only 16. Let me underscore that once again. We're talking about teenage kids in high school. After about a 3 or 4 minute conversation, Charles pulls out of a book bag that's owned by Ty this Draco AK-47 and shoots our victim 3 times. Our victim obviously is mortally wounded. His foot comes off of the gas pedal. The car rolls about a half a block down the street off of the edge of the road where it stops. 911's called. Now, Ty and Charles flee. Then Ty says, oh my gosh, my book bag is still in the middle of the road, the one that he gave Charles to hide the Draco in. So he runs back to get his book bag. He runs home. Charles disappears. We highly suspect at that moment in time that Charles Andrew Jackson III calls his dad, Charles Andrew Jackson Jr., who's 37 and lives in Avon Park, to pick him up. In any event, he gets away from the scene. We work the investigation, and the next day we go to Charles' house in Avon Park, Charles Jackson Jr., and ask for the son. He says he doesn't know where he is. Well, while we're there talking with him, he starts texting and erasing texts. He has texted his son and told him, run, the cops are after you. He goes to jail again. He's been to jail before for tampering with evidence and accessory to first-degree murder. This guy's already been to prison twice for resisting, aggravated assault, burglaries, violation of probations. He's a bad dude. And his son is a murderer. So his son, who he's trying to cover for, runs. Unlike Ty Allen's family, who is totally cooperating. Ty says, I didn't shoot anybody. Charles did the shooting. Charles, he lies to us before he lawyers up as well. Guess what? Who would have thought? We were in Avon Park because we thought Charles Jackson III was down there with his father. Nope. He goes to school in Lake Wells. He showed up for school. Did you hear what I said? Monday morning, he showed up for school at Lake Wells High School like nothing had happened. And he just murdered a guy by shooting him 3 times with this Draco. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can well imagine, we don't know where this gun is right now, and we want it. So we're willing to pay $5,000 for the recovery of this AK-47 that our 22-year-old victim was shot with. $5,000. Think about that. You can call Crime Stoppers, put us in touch with this gun. You make $5 grand. It's that simple. So at the end of the day, the investigation's ongoing. But this is truly a sad set of circumstances. First and foremost, I'm always angered when people say, oh, if we just legalized marijuana, then this wouldn't have happened. You folks are nuts. We know in every state that's legalized marijuana, the drug dealer has proliferated, sells more because they can sell the illegal drug much cheaper than the government regulated, grown, and taxed marijuana. In addition to that, we're talking about 2 15-year-old kids facing first-degree murder and the rest of their life in prison. Because a 22-year-old kid, and at 22, yes, you're an adult, but you're still a kid, is on an app selling marijuana. There's no winners here. And the families of the suspects are left with teenagers that are going to be in prison for the rest of their life, as you should when you murder somebody. And we've got a mother and family of a 22-year-old who's now dead because he went to make a little money selling marijuana. Ladies and gentlemen, sad situation. Now, I have one more press release I want to talk about, but is there any questions you have on this one?
I do have several questions. Charles is the one who's suspected of shooting.
Being the trigger man.
Okay. Are you investigating how he had the gun? Did you suspect it was stolen?
We have no idea about where that Draco came from, but obviously a 16-year-old can't legally possess and or buy such a gun, so it's a street gun from someplace.
And what is their relationship,
The 2 suspects, they're friends. I believe that they have met because one of their parents is dating or friends with the other family.
Okay. And then the father was charged with what in relation to?
Accessory to murder and tampering with evidence.
And then my final question, why are they both being charged with first degree if one of them was the trigger?
Well, because they both were principals in this investigation. Tyjon, he provided the book bag to hide the Draco. He was there with and conspired to buy the marijuana. So they both were there and approached the car, and the trigger man just happened to be the other guy.
And I guess that's a good message to have. Even if you don't pull the trigger, you can still catch charges.
Absolutely, because they clearly conspired, worked together in order to rob this guy. They didn't have $400 to buy $400 worth of marijuana, and they intended all along to rob him when he got there. And that's exactly what they did.